Hi there, beautiful Thrivers. Welcome back to another video with Thriving in Chaos. Today we're going to be tackling last week's WTF weekly tracking of finances. So thank you guys for being here. Click that subscribe button, like the video, and let's go. Hi everyone, how are you doing? I hope you guys are doing good. Today we got to tackle last week's WTF Wednesday, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that once I have this video posted, I will be all caught up, which means we will just go right back into our normal mode of WTF Wednesday, cash stuffing on a Friday, that type of thing. So looking forward to finally being all caught up from the craziness that was the beginning of this entire year. Speaking of, look at what my husband brought me. Just randomly out of nowhere, he bought me this cute little tiny thing. I don't even know where I put the... Oh, here it is. It is an espresso orchid. How cute. So I think he thinks that I have a green thumb now since this hasn't died, and I looked it up. We got it in October. Guys, I've kept this thing alive since October. I've never kept a plant alive this long in my life. So I guess now that he's seen this thing is still alive and still looking good, he has decided I must need another one. And I'm like, oh no. I don't want to, it's too pretty, it's purple. Like, I don't want to ruin it. I don't want to, okay. We're going to do it. We're going to try our best. So, in keeping with the tune of watering every Wednesday, just to help me be a better plant owner, we're going to include this one. So, let's just go ahead and tackle that. Go ahead and water Chaos here. This is what we've named her. Little Miss Chaos. And then I figured we'll just call her Thrive. So we have Thrive and Chaos. And how cute. Now this one, it says to do it a little differently. It does say to let it sit in water for a minute. I guess it has holes in, yeah, it has a hole in the bottom. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to put the amount of water I would have put in it there and just let it soak it up at its leisure. And I think that since it's just a little bit, it's enough water to, you know, it's enough for it, and I don't need to like do this whole let it sit in water for a minute and then drain it, and you know what I mean? I just put a little water in there. It'll be good. I hope. Anyway, maybe this is why I'm not a green thumb. I don't follow directions. Anyway, so we've got a cute little addition to the family. I hope you guys just welcome her. I don't know if this leaf right here is going to make it. It looks a little sad, but we'll see if it does. I'm kind of excited about it, especially because it's purple and it's gorgeous and I love it. With that being said, I've been working really hard on getting everything ready for this video, and now I am. But before we get started with it, let me go ahead and grab today's prompt card. If you're new to my videos, this is a prompt card. It's basically a conversation starter. So I'll ask and answer the question on the card in this video, and you guys can put your answers in the comments below. Just a little something to help us get to know each other better. So today's prompt card is, what's your favorite song? Oh man. I mean, like, what year are we talking? It changes year after year. I think currently, I guess let's go with current favorite song. Do I even have a current favorite? You know, I don't. I listen to such a variety of genres and music, and then everything. Each genre has its own thing that I like. How do you narrow that down? Okay, if you want to answer this, go ahead. I'm gonna skip on. I want one that I can answer. Did you hear about insert latest news topic? Ooh, there's a lot of stuff going on in the news. I think mainly in the news is what's going on in this country politically. It's quite scary. I don't know about you, but it's really making me consider like prepping, being a prepper in a certain kind of way. Like, I want to have a room that is dedicated to like good canned goods and jarred goods, and learning how to jar goods myself. We're even considering putting in a garden and being more self-sustainable. But just the way that the country is going, the world even in general, is scary. It's scary. And I think about all these countries that are in war, both in Israel, Gaza, Ukraine, Russia, like everywhere the war is actually happening. I think about those people and how they must be trying to survive right now, because I'm pretty sure there's no grocery stores open. There's no food coming in other than what is being shipped out there. And that's, it seems like very scarce. So what do they do to survive? And I'm thinking to myself, if that ever happened here, I mean, God forbid we go into a World War III, or the war was brought to our land. Imagine that. If war happened here, where you're living right now, what would you do? How would you survive? And so I'm thinking of things, and just, honestly, I could go into this topic for a long time. We could ramble, girl. We could like get some wine, have a chat, and we could talk about it. But I think that's just where my mind is right now. But what about you guys? If you want to insert your own latest news topic and put it in a comment and have us all comment on it and talk about it, go ahead. Let's try not to be divisive. There is plenty in this world that is divisive enough. Let's not let it be this channel. Let's just keep it friendly. All right, guys, let me know in the comments below. Okay, WTF Wednesday time. And I did get all the stickers on. See, when I showed you guys the book before, I had not done this book yet. So I had to spend some of this weekend getting this thing prepped and ready for this video. So there's just been a lot of behind the scenes you guys have not been seeing. And just me trying to catch up with y'all and, be on top of my game again. Because we want to thrive in chaos, not strive. We want to get this done, and we want to do it beautifully. All right, if this is one of the first times ever watching one of my WTF Wednesday videos, this is what I like to do. Every Wednesday, typically, I go through the past week of online expenses. Anything that we swiped with our debit card will go here. Anything that we swiped on our credit card goes here. Everything that we spent digitally goes here. And what I end up doing is using an account buffer. So for my bank account, I have an account buffer. You can think of it like how a credit card has a credit limit, if you will. It's my account buffer is my credit limit. Okay, if you will. It's money that doesn't belong anywhere, but it helps me to be able to make purchases online without having to go deposit money first. So I have a credit limit in my bank account that I'm using during the week to make those purchases that I just can't use cash for, which in this day and age, it's a lot of things. Let's just be real. You cannot use cash in Amazon, and I am a frequent buyer on Amazon. So things like that, you have to use digitally. But what I end up doing is saving money in my envelopes for these occasions when these purchases I know are coming up that I have to do digitally. And then when we do them every week, like we're doing today, we're going to go back, take the cash out that we ended up spending so that we can put it back into my bank account, and therefore refunding my account buffer or my credit limit for another week. Does that make sense? So that's just how I'm doing this in order to help me be better with this cash envelope system in a digital world. With that said, let's go ahead and get started. I've got to pick my colors. What are we going to choose? I'm thinking green, a darker green, and that would look good. And I'm guessing black. And I only say black because I don't think the red, I mean, we're not going Christmas vibes here. And the red is not really a red. It's more like a muted red. So green and black. We're going with that. Let's do black as our bank spending. So everything I write in black up here will be things that we use our debit card for, using our account buffer as our credit limit, if you will. I'm going to start with the 29th. This is groceries, and if you watched my previous video, you'll have seen that I already took this out of the account. So it's already been spent and repaid back by the money that I left in there. But I do want to account for it so that I know exactly how much I've spent. Now, I don't remember the change, so I'm not going to worry about that. But we'll just leave it at $8.58, which was what we spent. And then on the 2nd, we had a Peach Pass come out. That is our local toll system here. My hubby travels so much with his job. So we have an express lane that they offer for people just to kind of get the traffic flowing better, and you can pay for it per mile. I think it's pretty cheap. As you can see, he travels a lot. So every so often they'll pull $20. It's like a credit on there so that he can continue traveling on that express lane. It's very helpful. Also on the 2nd, I paid some health bills off. So the first one, let's do this, is from Health Savings. And I had put it off so long, I'm afraid that it touched my credit before I was able to pay it off because the insurance wasn't touching it. But I don't know. I quit fighting because I'm tired of getting the threats that they're going to wreck my credit over it, and it's just not that important. So it was $401. If you don't know, my hubby last year had cancer. He had to have a major surgery and a hospital stay, and then he was out of work for almost 2 months. So bills were expensive back then, and now it's not too many, but we still have a few just trickling in here and there. So that was one of them. And then another one was only 25 even. All right, so there's those. And then the last purchase from the bank account this particular week, we're only doing Wednesday to Tuesday, the 5th. I know I'm behind, don't get me wrong, but it will just mean that on Wednesday I will be right on schedule, if that makes sense. So I'm just catching up from the last week. So on the 5th, I had my daughter's therapy, so this will be coming from Mental Health. It was actually her last full therapy appointment, 65 even. Wow, there was no change. So if you don't know, for the past 2+ years, my hubby and I have been foregoing spending money except on big bonuses, but we've been foregoing our spending money to fund our 2 daughters going to therapy through our church. So it's, even though it's not Christian geared, it is through a Christian church, if that makes sense. They are licensed therapists. I still have to pay them for these appointments, but they are therapists that attend the church who have offered their services through the church, saying, I'm a licensed therapist, this is what I do for a living. I'd be willing to offer, your patrons or whatever, a chance to have cheap or affordable therapy through the church. So that's what that is. Anyway, we have taken full advantage of that because why not? Our kids are teenagers. This is a very confusing world, and I'm going off on a rant, and I'm so sorry. But I found it very, very, very important, and I encourage anyone, there are resources everywhere. If you have teenagers, get them in therapy, even if you don't think that they need it. It's this world that's confusing. And as they're trying to grow up and figure out who they are, they're going to need someone, an unbiased someone, to talk to and talk them through it and help them realize their own brain and not the sheep or the flock or what the world is telling them what their brain is. So I encourage it. I cannot encourage it enough. I encourage it. I wish I had had it, honestly, growing up. I think all kids should. As long as they are good, they're reputable, and you trust them. That's all I'm saying. All right. that is it for bank spending. I apologize. I don't know why I said that, but I guess somebody needed to hear it. And if that was you, then take heed. Okay? All right. And I only say that because it's just really important. We're all parents. If you're a parent and you're listening to this, we're all parents. And if you really put it into perspective, you only get 18 summers with your child. I think you get something like not even 1,000 weeks with them before they're considered adults. That's it. That's all you get. Just make it count. It's really important you hear that. Make it count. All right. I'm so sorry. I feel really emotional about this. I'm sorry. I don't know why. I love you guys. I just, felt I needed to express that. All right, let me get into this before I get a little too crazy here. Let's go into gas. This is credit card. My husband uses a credit card for gas only. So every time he gets gas, he swipes that. I put money into our gas envelope so that I can pay off this credit card. You'll see how we take care of it. So gas is going to be in green gas, or credit card, if you will. This was $28, and finally we're going to get some change. And if you are new, you probably have no idea what I mean by that, but basically I round every purchase up regardless of the change, and then I take that change and I put it to the side and I let it build my account buffer without doing anything at all except for rounding up. All right, so that was the first gas. The next gas is going to be for $41, and he missed it. It was $41.01. He almost got it, but we get 99 cents off of that, so yay. And then I have gas on this day as well, and that is for $33, and once again, he got it at $32.01, 99 cents for us. Then on the 4th, he got more gas, and it was only for $15. This time he actually got it on the dot. And then this one, the last one, gas, he got it for $56, and he did not make it. He got it all the way to 06. He must have looked away for a hot second. So that's 94 cents we get towards our account buffer. Okay. So now we have all of the bank spending, all of the credit card spending here. The cash spending we'll get to a little bit later after we start pulling those trackers. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and do a little bit of calculations, starting with our gas. Let's see how much in total we're going to need to pull for that credit card. So $173 is our credit card total. That's what we're going to be pulling for. And then total in bank spending, we had $858. So a total of $1369. But we're only going to be pulling cash-wise $511. So I'm going to put that right here so I don't get confused later when I'm like, why don't I have all of this? It's because this will already be done. All right. Cash spending, as I said, we'll calculate that a little bit later, but we can do save the change. Let's find out how much this week in particular we have been able to save. Oops. All right. Okay. Sometimes it's just better for me to stop talking. So $2.94 there. Okay, so we've got as many calculations as we can do right now. I'm going to take a few seconds and put some little squares next to all of my purchases so I have a cute little checkbox. And then I'll set everything up and then we'll start pulling some cash. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and check off groceries here since that has already been taken care of. Let me go ahead and grab our first binder. My living expenses. All right, in here we're going to find Peach Pass for sure. So let me flip back to it. There you are. Okay. So $20 from that. Oop, I forgot my little money holder that I use. Excuse me. Sorry. Didn't mean to hit you there. My bad. $20 for Peach Pass. Alright, and then everything else is in another binder, but we did have some purchases for cash purchases. So, in case you were wondering, every binder has its own laminated little budget sheet here, and if we spend something, we write down the envelope we got it from and how much it was so that I can tally how much cash we have spent throughout a week. Hopping over to my life maintenance binder. Let's start with health savings. All right, so $401 and $25. So $401 and $25, that's $426. We're going to be taking this from medical bills. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and no change. Let me see if there is change in here though. Let me just pull out these tabs. Is there any change? There's a 50 and a 70. I mean a 20, but 50. I guess, I'll just take 100. We'll put it in there for now. And we'll do 450. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 50. So that's $24, so we can pull this 20 and we'll owe ourselves 4. So let me write that next to this. We'll check this one off, but not that one until we get the change. All right, so that leaves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 20 in medical bills. Ooh, they have taken every bit that we saved for that, or they're trying to anyway. All right, mental health, 65, 50, 60, and 5. But now that my oldest daughter has graduated out of regular therapy, she's now on a as needed basis. I will only have 2 appointments a month now with my youngest until she graduates out of it. How amazing. I'm thrilled. I actually want to go give the therapist a hug, but I'm trying to wait at least until my youngest also graduates out. I don't want any appearance of conflict or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe I'm insane thinking like that. I just want to thank her. She's been invaluable to us and to our children. All right, that's going to do it for this. Now, let me go back to my living expenses. We're going to tackle this gas, and we've already calculated how much that is, which is $173, which we're going to take from our gas envelope. 150, 70, and then we've got 80. So if we're taking 180, but it's only 173, we're still going to owe ourselves $7, which we don't have that kind of change here. Not yet, anyway. Well, we have a 5. We'll take the 5 and still owe 2. So I'll put that right there. And this was the 180. Goes here, right? Yes. Okay, so that leaves in gas 51, 50, 75. So 175, which hopefully it is that or less on Wednesday, but we'll see. Okay. And since it appears that this was the only binder that we spent out of, we only spent $70. My hubby and I went on another breakfast date together, so I took it from both because I wanted to. And yeah, so that was nice. I loved it. So $70 in total in cash spending this past week. And I'll just pop this back in here in the back. So all that means is that we did not take from account buffer, which is good. We don't want to do that. That is our credit limit. We don't want to lower our credit limit if we can help it. All right, so in total, we have spent $1,369 from our bank, $173 on the credit card, and then $70 in cash. So that is a total of $1,612 that we spent this week. It's a lot. I'm telling you, cost of living is ridiculous. It just is. All right. So I need to deal with the change situation. So I'm going to need like 4, 5, 6, I think just $6. I'm going to check these off. So I'm going to need 10 ones. Let me see. That's a pretty tin. We'll keep this one. And this is how I condense my $1 savings challenge here, just to kind of help it not be too thick. So I'm just going to take a handful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Some of these are really nice, and I'm not going to want to do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Forgive me for being picky, but I want to keep the pretty ones. Alright, so now we have change. So we did need 1, 2 for gas, and 1, 2, 3, 4 for health. And the rest will go here. So let me handle that. But yeah, this is just a method that I've kind of developed over the past 3 years as I've done this cash envelope system, and how to not get in trouble by swiping things and not accounting for it. Because I found ourselves getting into situations like that. So I'm like, I need a way to account for these purchases and not getting ourselves into a bind. This is why I came up with this system. Alright, so we're done with this. Alright, so we need 173 separated out of here. 170, 150, 170, 1, 2, and 3. This is credit card, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, good. That's 173. That's for the credit card to keep it separate, and I'll explain why in a second. But this should be 511, 100, 200, 250. Okay, it would help if I put them in order. Let's just do that first. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 50, 5, 10. 5, 10. I don't know. It's close enough, I guess. All right, let's put this money where it goes. Back to the bank. This goes here. With the other money that needs to go back to my bank. As my kids purchase things online, they give me their cash for it. And then this is for the new month of March. We don't want this one. All right, March. Week 1, we spent 173, which is this. and I just let this build up over the month and pay it completely off when it's due at the end of the month. So that's how I'm building our credit, by we're just using the credit card to make that happen, I guess. It's working. Hey, they offered it. So now the last thing I need to do before we move on to our bills is transfer these numbers. So let me do that really quick. This is my main budget book, so I like to keep everything together if I can in the same budget book. So this being the very first week of March, let's input these numbers. For bank, we spent $1,369. For credit card, $173. For spendings, our cash, $70. And then we added $2.94. So that is our starting balance for the month of March. Alright, so now I can retire this book for another 2 days until next week, or next Wednesday, should I say, so that's in 2 days, so that we can tackle this week right here, and we'll be all caught up, which is nice. Alright, last thing that we're going to do is tackle these bills. All of my bills are on auto pay, so I just have to make sure they came out when they were supposed to come out and make sure of the cost. Everything seems to be rising. It never fails. Every single month, some other bill rises for some reason. So let's just see where we're at. The first thing that I've noted that came out was the first prime, which is right here for $16.19. And then Netflix came out for $22.99. And then gas came out for $189.84. So it has risen, which is to be expected because we're in the colder months. Our mortgage came out for $1,281.24. And Spotify came out for $16.99. And Hulu came out for $99.98. Alright, so that's all the bills that have come out so far. So I'm going to flip back to my March calendar here. And we can input these numbers into here as well. Bear with me, I know that's a little redundant, but I also like to have everything together where I can see it, which includes if the bills have been paid. So Netflix, $22.99. Amazon Prime, the first one, $16.19. Alright, mortgage was $1281.24. Spotify, $16.99. Hulu, $99.98. Bank fees has not come out yet. Alright, so that's everything that's come out. We did the cash stuffing on, I think it dropped Thursday, but this is actually today. So nothing was scheduled today, but this is dropping today. Alright. So the next video, as you can see, I have scheduled for Wednesday, which is WTF Wednesday, and then we'll be all caught up. We're all done. And then we do have a cash stuffing also later this week. So we're back on schedule, guys. Yay! Finally! Alright, with that, I will let you guys go. We're all done here. We have successfully tracked our cash spending, our credit card spending, our bank spending, and all of our bills that are on auto pay. So all the ways that we spend digitally has been tracked for yet another week. So if that inspires you to get it done, let it do so. Don't ignore it. And with that said, I'll let you guys go. If you're still watching and you're not subscribed, can you do me a favor and hit that subscribe button? I would love to be your weekly inspiration for your own budgeting journey. And with that said, I'll see you on Wednesday for our WTF Wednesday. As always, until next time, bye.